Good morning. We'll start yoga in 1 minute. I'm typing in my caption, that's why I'm so close. Good morning. Almost done typing this in and then we'll get started. Okay. Okay, good morning, y'all. We're doing Power Vinyasa today. So we have a nice heat building practice prepared for today. Good morning. Good to see you all virtually. Okay, let's get started. In a comfortable position, seated on your mat, tall, straight back. Let's bring our thumb and our ring finger together, just touching the tip of your thumb and your ring finger. Rest them down on your knees. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Pause for a moment and exhale. Another deep inhale through your nose. Pause. Exhale. One more inhale through your nose. Pause. Exhale. And come back to your natural breath. The mudra we're holding with our hands today is called the Surya Ravi mudra. And this mudra is supposed to help with energy, digestion, and metabolism. So feel free to use this on your own when you meditate. We're spending some time here getting our mind and body prepared for a good practice and a good day. And if you'd like to set an affirmation or an intention for your practice today, affirmations start with I am, I will, or I choose. And breathe in that affirmation or intention. Breathe out any doubt, fear, or worry. And just visualize how you would like your practice to go. Remembering that at any time during the practice you can take a break or a breath. There's no shame in taking care of your body. And just remembering to listen to your body, paying attention to what it needs. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, sigh it out. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, feel free to keep those hands in the mudra, or you can release the fingers and rest them down. As we start rotating our head to the right, inhaling back and exhaling forward. Moving our head around with meaning and intention. Really using the full rotation of the neck. And just letting the neck and shoulders loosen up. Good morning, everybody that just joined us. Thank you for being here. And on your next downward motion, start moving your head to the opposite side. Move your head to the left. Same thing, inhale back, exhale forward. Move a couple more times to the left side. And bring your head back to a neutral position. Take your hands, rest them on the shoulders. Let's move our elbows backward. Inhale up, exhale, elbows back and down. Ebony's in here. Good morning, Ebony. Inhale up, exhale down. And do the same thing. Roll the elbows forward. And release those shoulders. Inhale those arms up as you interlace the fingers and push the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale, release the hands as you twist to your right side. Left hand on the outside of right knee. Right fingertips face the back wall and bring your gaze over that back shoulder. Inhale back up to center, interlace those fingers, push the palms away again. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand on the outside of left knee, left fingertips face the back wall, gaze comes over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back up to center, interlace the fingers, push the palms away again. Exhale, release the right hand down to the ground, bring your left arm up and over. You can let that right forearm rest on the ground if that's comfortable, and then bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale, come through the center. Exhale, lower that left arm down, right arm comes up and over. Gaze up towards the ceiling, really extending through those fingertips, keeping those hands engaged. Inhale, come back up to center, interlace those fingers, push the palms again. Release those hands. Let's take our right hand, plant it down on the ground beside you as you drop your left ear to your left shoulder. We'll take our left hand, gently rest it on the side of your head without pulling on your head or neck. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower that left hand down, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Right hand rests on the side of the head. Inhale. Exhale, release the right hand. Let's roll those wrists out. Bring your first finger and thumb together. Let's stick those fingers together as we let the hands roll off of each other, rolling towards our body. And start to roll them the opposite way. Release the fingers, take the hands, bring them to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, let the hands press into each other as they lower down towards the hips. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Come up on hands and knees in a table position. Our hands are underneath our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips. Let's work into a little bit of cat-cow. Taking an inhale, bringing the chin up, flipping the tailbone upward, rolling those shoulders back and down. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin under, tuck the tailbone under. Let's move in and out of those two positions, inhaling as the chin comes up, and exhaling as it comes down. Couple more times. Bring your spine back to neutral. Let's bring those big toes together as we sit the hips back towards the heels, coming to child's pose. Extend those arms out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, melt your chest down towards your mat. Now, if at any time during your practice you need a break, you can come down to your child's pose. And while we're here, feel free to rock side to side, settling down even deeper into your child's pose. Let's find stillness back in the center, floating our body back up to table position, and we'll make our way to down dog. If you're not ready for down dog, you can stay down on the knees and extend the arms out, come into what's called puppy pose. This is just like halfway between child's pose and down dog. So when you're ready, get in either your puppy pose or your down dog. If you're in your down dog, press your chest towards your thighs. Neck is relaxed but in line with the spine. And heels are pressing towards the ground. Heels don't have to be able to reach the ground completely. And you can alternate, bending one knee at a time. And we'll start to take those feet, walk them up behind the hands. Come to a forward fold for a moment. Feel free to grab the elbows here. We'll release the elbows, start to roll up to a standing position. Arms come with you. Inhale, let those hands be at the top. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. All right, let's warm up with a sun salutation. We're at the top of our mat. Hands are at heart center. Get a nice strong base on those feet. Rock back and forth from the balls of your feet to the heels. Really feeling the four corners of the feet. Trying to keep those knees soft. Take an inhale, extend those arms up towards the sky. Very small back bend. Exhale, fall down to forward fold. Hands can either come to the ground or you can grab those elbows again. Inhale up to half lift. Either fingertips on the ground or hands on the shins. Exhale, take the hands, plant them down in front of the feet. Step or jump back to plank. If you need to modify your plank, just go ahead and rest down on the knees. Take an inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower for chaturanga. You can lower down to the belly or just halfway. Push into those hands, come either to cobra, only peeling the chest off the ground, or straightening those elbows, come to up dog. Inhale. Exhale, make your way back to your puppy pose or your down dog. Take some breaths in down dog. Take your gaze, bring it up in between the hands. Step or jump your feet up behind your hands, and then make your way back up to your half lift with the fingers on the ground or the hands on the shin. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down to forward fold. Let's roll up to a standing position. Arms come with you. Inhale, small back bend. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Good. Now we're going to add a couple things on to our sun salutation. Sweep those arms back up with an inhale. This time I want you to pull your belly button back towards your spine. Bring your thighs parallel to the ground as you come to chair pose. Let your weight be in your heels. Take an inhale, straighten those legs out, small back bend. Exhale, fall back down to your forward fold. Inhale up for your half lift. Exhale, take the hands, put them down in front of the feet, step or jump back to plank or modified plank. Inhale, exhale, lower down for your chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, make your way up to down dog or puppy pose. Take some breaths here. And on your next inhale, we'll take our left foot, bring a half step in as we extend that right leg up and back. You could do this down from the knees too if you need to. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest as you step that foot up in between the hands. Back heel rotates down as we make a line from this front heel to the inside arch of our back foot, and we'll sweep those arms up for warrior one. Knee is aligned over your ankle, sweeping those arms up, bringing the chest square with this front leg. Shoulders are relaxed, but arms are extended up. Inhale in warrior one. Exhale, bring those hands down on either side of the foot. Step back to your plank or modified plank. We'll move through our chaturanga again, lowering down. Inhale up for cobra or up dog. Exhale, make your way back to puppy pose or down dog. Let's take our right foot, bring it in a half step. Extend that left leg up and back this time. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes into the chest, stepping that foot up in between the hands. Rotate the back heel down, sweep up for warrior one on this side. Same thing. Knee is over ankle, chest is square at the front knee. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, lower those hands down on either side of the foot. Step that left foot back, come to plank. We'll move through our Vinyasa again, lowering down for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. So start to feel that heat building up now. If you didn't feel it like a little while ago, I'm feeling it. Take your gaze, bring it up in between the hands. Step or jump those feet up behind the hands. Inhale up to half lift. Exhale, lower down to forward fold. Let's roll up to a standing position. Inhale. Exhale, pull that belly button back. Shift your weight into your heels. Bringing those thighs parallel to the ground for chair pose. Straighten those legs out. Inhale, small back bend. Exhale, hands come back down to heart center. Good. If you need to take a quick sip of water, now's the time. Take a couple more breaths here in your mountain pose. And when you're ready, let's sweep those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fall down to your forward fold. Inhale up to half lift. Exhale, hands point down in front of the feet. Step or jump back to plank or modified plank. Now this time, if you're modifying your plank, we're just going to hold it a little bit longer. So just hold your modified plank. Make a ramp from your hips down to your knees. Pull that belly button back so you make sure your core is engaged. If you're in full plank, you can stay in full plank and hold. Or if you want to add a little bit, we're going to take our right foot, just bring it off the ground. Lower the right foot, let's do it on the left side. And again, feel free to just hold it here. You're still working that core either way. One more time each side, right foot. And left foot. And when you're ready, we'll extend back to our puppy pose or our down dog. Remember, if you're in your puppy pose, you're just down on your knees with your arms extended, taking some breaths. And if you need your child's pose right now, feel free to come to your child's pose. Let's take that left foot, walk it in a half step as we extend that right foot up and back. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes into our chest, letting that foot come up in between the hands. Rotate that back heel down. I'm going to come up to warrior one. So left arm is going to swing up, around, and back. I'm sorry, warrior two. Warrior two is with arms out wide. Take an inhale in warrior two. Exhale, lower this left hand down. Try not to let it be too much resting on your knee. More so kind of sliding it down towards your calf if you can, as you extend this right arm up and back for reverse warrior. We'll take an inhale in our reverse warrior. Exhale, we're going to make our way to extended side angle. Front palm flips upward as the forearm rests above the knee. Left arm comes up and over the ear. And we're going to take an inhale, extend back to our reverse warrior again. Exhale, back to extended side angle. And one more time, coming back to reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Good. Take an inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, bring those hands down on either side of the foot. Step that left foot up to meet the right as you come to forward fold. You can inhale to lengthen. Exhale, melt your chest down towards your thighs a bit. Let's sweep those arms up with the inhale, rolling back up to a standing position. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Let's come to Malasana squat. So we're taking our feet, bringing them out a little bit wider than hips width, maybe about the width of your mat. Elbows are going to come down inside of the knees, and we want to try to keep our feet flat on the ground. So if you're this high, that's perfectly fine. If you're able to bring those hips down lower, feel free to bring the hips down lower. Elbows press into knees and knees press into elbows. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands plant down in between the hands. Hands plant down in between the feet. Legs extend back, come into plank or modified plank. Now from here, you can take a rest down on the knees on a child's pose, or you can move through your vinyasa. If you're doing your vinyasa, we're lowering down again for chaturanga. Inhaling up for cobra or up dog. Exhaling, making our way back to down dog. Take a couple breaths. Take your gaze, bring it up in between the hands. Separate jump those feet up behind the hands. Let's roll up to a standing position. Arms come with you. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Take a couple breaths in your mountain pose here. We'll move through that sequence a second time. Doing it on the other side. Take those arms up. Inhale. Exhale down to forward fold. Inhale up to half lift. Exhale, plant the hands down in front of the feet. Step or jump back to plank. If you're modifying, drop down to the knees and just hold. You can stay off the knees and hold as well if you prefer to come to full plank. If you want more than full plank, right foot lifts off the ground. And left foot. Right foot again. And left foot. Feel free to drop down to the knees for a moment or lift those hips up and back, coming to down dog. Remember to listen to your body. Do whatever modifications work for you at the moment. We'll take our right foot, walking in a half step. Left foot extends up and back. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes into chest as you step that left foot up in between the hands. Rotating the back heel down flat. Right arm comes up, around the back, coming to warrior two. Knee is aligned over the ankle. Check those arms. Let's take this right hand, rest it down. Scoop this left arm up and back. Try not to rest the hand on the knee. Try to extend it down towards your calf. And let's move into extended side angle. Left forearm above left knee. Right arm up and over. Inhale back to reverse warrior. Exhale back to extended side angle. One more time. Inhale back to reverse warrior. Exhale back to extended side angle. Inhale and extended side angle. Exhale, take those hands, bring them down on either side of the foot, coming to a lunge position. Right foot steps up to meet the left as it comes to forward fold. If you want to grab those elbows, feel free. Let's roll up to a standing position. Arms come with you. Inhale. Exhale, here's the heart center. Let's come to our Malasana squat again. Stepping those feet out, maybe about the width of your mat. Elbows on the inside of the knees and feet flat on the ground. Hips might be up high or down low. Elbows pressing to knees and knees pressing to elbows. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come down in between those feet. Step back to your plank. Feel free to take a break, or if you want to move through your vinyasa, you can. Taking a couple breaths in your down dog. Left foot walks in a half step. Extend that right leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes into chest. Stepping that foot up in between the hands. Rotate the back heel down. Let's come to warrior two again. Left arm up, around, and back. Take an inhale. Exhale. Bring your chest square with your front knee as you interlace these fingers behind you. Rolling those shoulders down and back. Inhale. Exhale, I want you to lower your chest down towards this front knee. Come into a humble warrior. So it looks something like this. Now, if this is a little much for you to balance, it's okay to bring your hands down if you need some support. Let's release these hands. Sweep these arms up as we straighten the front knee and come to a standing position. Inhale. Take a couple breaths here. Exhale, we're going to release this left hand, resting it on that space in between our hips and our back. So kind of on your lower back, but kind of on your glutes as well. And we're going to fold down as we extend this arm, right arm, out in front. So it should look something like this. Now if you want a little more, feel free to extend both arms out in front. If this is too intense on your hip here, I'm okay with your front knee being bent. Take an inhale, exhale, come to a lunge position. Step that left foot up to meet the right. We're going to walk our feet out a little bit wider than hip width and come to a sort of a wide leg forward fold. If you want to grab those elbows, feel free. Let's heel toe those feet in, back underneath the hips, and roll up to a standing position. Inhale. Exhale, those hands to heart center. Let's move into tree pose. Getting our left foot rooted on the ground. Option 1, toes rest on the ground, heels rest on the ankle. Heel rests on the ankle. Option 2, we'll slide our foot up to our calf. Option 3, we'll let that foot come up to our thigh. Find your balance with the hands at heart center to start. And then if you're feeling comfortable, you can take your arms and extend them out to the side. Feel free to stay here. If you want a challenge, we'll take our arms, extend them straight out to the side, and then we're going to lean over to our right, letting this left arm extend up towards the sky. And then if you're really feeling adventurous, feel free to look up towards the hand. It's really challenging, obviously. But just take your time. And when you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, release that foot down to the ground. Hands come back to heart center. And let's step this right foot back. Front knee is in front. Knee is aligned over the ankle, and we're up on the back toe. And we'll sweep these arms up for high lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, bring these hands down to either side of the foot. Step that left foot back. Take a break here or move through your vinyasa. Let's move into that on the other side. Inhale, extend that left leg back. Exhale, knee comes into chest as you step the foot up in between the hands. Come into warrior 2. Right arm comes up, around, and back. Now let's take these hands, interlace some fingers behind us. Chest is square with this front leg. Rolling those shoulders down and back. Inhale. Exhale, lower down for your humble warrior. Remember to bring those hands down if you need that support. Let's release those fingers, sweep these arms up. Straighten that front leg, hands meet at the top. Take a couple breaths here, taking a moment to catch our breath. Let's release this right hand, bring it into that hip, and start to extend forward, letting the top of our body be parallel with the ground. If you want more, extend both arms out in front. Take an inhale. Exhale, come down to a lunge position. Step this right foot up to meet the left. Walk those feet out a little bit wider than hips width. And let's lower down to our slightly wide leg forward bend. Grab the elbows if you like. You can let the hands meet the mat again as you heel toe those feet in. Underneath the hips. Roll up, arms come with you. Inhale. Exhale, the hands to heart center as we come into tree pose on the other side. Nice and rooted in the right foot. Option 1, toes on the ground, heel on the ankle, slide it up to the calf for option 2, or slide it up to the thigh for option 3. You can stay here with your hands at heart center. You can extend those arms out for a full tree pose. If you want more, arms extend out to the side. We'll lean over to the left. Right arm extends straight up towards the sky. And if you're feeling ready, if you're feeling balanced, you can try to slowly bring your gaze up towards the hand. Or not. Take an inhale. Let's release that left foot, stepping it back. Come into high lunge on this side. Sweep those arms up. It's up on that back toe. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hands down on either side of the foot. Step that right foot back. Come into plank. If you want to move through your vinyasa, you can. Or if you want to take a break, you can. Take a couple breaths in your down dog or down in your puppy pose. That's still an option. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop down to those knees. Let's extend those hips back, extend those arms up, arms out, come into child's pose. Feel free to take a sip of water if you need it. And when you're ready, let's float our body up to a kneeling position. If you need a little more support under the knees in the kneeling position, you can just fold your mat in half and let it be underneath the knees to give you some more cushion. And we'll bring ourselves into a camel pose. So for camel pose this time, I just want you to grab either elbow, rest them on your hips, push them forward, head extends up towards the sky, or gaze up towards the sky, I should say. And if you want to modify with me, we'll sweep those arms up, interlace the fingers, push them up towards the ceiling, and we'll extend these hips back a bit, come into sort of a back bend. And you can release those hands, coming back to a kneeling position, making our way down to a table position. Knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders. Let's move into tiger pose on each side. So extend our right arm out. You can stand here, or extend your left leg back. 2, bit of a balance challenge. Now feel free to bring that right hand down and just keep that leg extended only. And we're just holding it here. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Let's do left arm, right leg. Holding it. Resting it down. One more time each side. Right arm, left leg. Holding. And lowering. Left arm, right leg. Hold it. And lower it. Let's make our way down to our belly. And you come up to either cobra, just peeling the chest off the ground, or up dog. I really want us to try to stretch our abs out here, stretch our core out here. We're just going to do one more ab working pose. Feel free to slightly lift those knees and thighs off the ground just to create some weight so you can stretch your front core even further. And then let's come to child's pose just to counteract that cobra pose, because sometimes that back bending can be a little hard on our lower back. From here we'll come up to table position. And we're going to make our way to our back. So you can cross those ankles behind you if you're comfortable with that. Letting those feet come out in front. Let those hands wrap around the knees. Then just start to round the spine as you come down to your back. And we're going to go ahead and hug our knees into our chest. So we're going to move from our arms and legs extended out and then back to our knees into our chest, or your upside down child's pose. That's the motion we're going to do. So we're starting, knees hugging to chest. And then we're going to extend these arms and legs out. And sweep around, hug those knees back into the chest. Arms and legs extend out again. And hug those knees back in. Arms and legs extend out. Inhale. Exhale, hug them back in. Just do a couple more times. Extend out. And back in. Couple breaths, and we'll do one more time. Arms and legs extend out. And back in. And relax, tugging those knees into the chest again. Let's release those knees, bringing those legs onto the ground. We'll make our way back up to a seated position. However you get there is fine. If you want to move up into a seated position with me, we're kind of using our abs as we come up to a seated position. Extend those arms up. But again, either way you get there is fine. Take an inhale, making sure you're on those sits bones. Exhale. Let's bend down over those legs. Reaching for the feet. Feel free to have a slight bend in your knees if this is very intense on your lower back. Let's take another inhale, lengthen the spine a little bit. Exhale, reach a little bit deeper if you can. Couple more breaths in your seated forward bend. Let's roll our body back up to a seated position. Take the hands, plant them on the ground, either side of the hips. Option one for this pose is just press into your hands, straightening out those elbows. Your hips might lift off the ground a little bit, or they may not. If you want a little more, we'll just extend these hands back a little bit further, a little bit more behind the hips. And we'll lift the hips off the ground, making a ramp from the shoulders down towards the heels. Let the head come back, or keep it in line with the spine if you can. Taking an inhale. Exhale, if those hips are up, go ahead and lower them down. Coming back to a seated position. Now we will bend at the right knee as we let the right foot rest on the inside of the left leg. We'll sweep those arms up with an inhale, and we'll come to a forward bend this way. If you want a little more, you can feel free to tuck that foot on the inside of the hip. Couple more breaths on this side. And we'll roll back up to a seated position. Extend that right leg back out in front. Let's bring the bottom of the left foot on the inside of the right thigh, or tuck the foot on the inside of the hip, either one. Sweep those arms up, inhale. Exhale, lead with the chest coming down over this right leg. Remembering just to let those hands reach as far as they can. Not feeling discouraged if you can't touch the toes. That's not completely important. We're more focused on the stretch and how it's feeling. Couple more breaths on the right side. And we'll roll up to a seated position, extending those legs back out in front. Let's bend at our right knee, stepping it over our left leg. Extend this left arm up towards the sky and twist toward your bent knee, twisting to the right. Let that elbow come on the outside of the knee as you bring your gaze over the back shoulder. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Extend that right leg back out in front. Let's bend at the left leg, stepping it over the right. Right arm extends up. Twist toward your bent knee. Elbow comes on the outside of the knee. Left fingertips face the back wall. Bring your gaze over this back shoulder. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Uncross that leg. Let's bend those knees, bring those feet flat on the ground. Let's roll down to our seated position. Hug those knees into the chest for a moment. And let's release those knees. Bring the feet flat on the ground. Hands rest at your sides. And just walk your heels in until you feel the fingertips. Making sure that lower back is flat on the ground. We'll lift those hips up, come into bridge pose. If you want a little more, you can interlace those fingers underneath you and kind of roll those shoulders under. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll back down to a flat back. Hug those knees back into the chest. We'll take those arms, bring them out wide on either side of our body. Knees come up to a 90-degree angle. And we're just going to let both knees fall over to the right side. Now you can stack those shoulders to begin, if this helps you. And then extend that left arm out to the side and let your gaze follow. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, let's come back to center, hugging the knees back into the chest. Release those arms back out to the side. Knees come up to a 90-degree angle. And let those knees fall over to the left. Feel free to stack those shoulders and then let the right arm extend out to the side and let your gaze follow. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, hug those knees back into the chest. And for this last pose, I'm going to give you two options. Option one, our modified version. Hands just rest down at the sides. And we just take our feet, extend them up towards the ceiling, pushing our heels towards the ceiling. Option two will come into shoulder stand. Just be very careful if you're moving into shoulder stand. So for shoulder stand, you're taking your hips and rolling them off the ground. Elbows are planted down. Hands are supporting the lower back and legs extend up to the sky. Only if you're comfortable with this and only if you can do so without hurting yourself. Whichever pose you choose, we're just letting some of that fresh blood come back down, getting back into our circulatory system, and then being able to get rid of some of those toxins, hopefully. They may have settled down in our feet. And when you're ready, whichever position you're in, you can slowly bring those knees back into the chest. One last time. And if you want to stretch anything else out, feel free to stretch that out now. And for our final rest, feel free to lay on the ground in corpse pose, or you can come to a seated position if you prefer a seated position. Whichever position you choose, just make sure you're warm and you're comfortable. And we'll come back to those cleansing breaths we used at the beginning of class. Inhaling deep through your nose. Hold it for a second. Exhale, release. Inhale, hold. Exhale out. One more inhale and hold. Exhale out. And release any control over the breath and come back to your natural breathing. Take a moment to consciously focus in on your breath. Focus in on the movement of your breath. The movement of your body as you inhale and exhale. The rise and the fall of your chest. Coolness as you inhale and the warmth as you exhale. Really examine each part of your breath. And as you are focused in on your breathing, you may notice some thoughts arising. And try to see whether these thoughts trigger emotions within your body. And if possible, we want to refrain from getting caught up in these thoughts. We want to let our thoughts come and go. We want to let them just be visitors passing through. And then focusing back in on our breath. Try not to take these thoughts personally. Again, just see them as visitors. They come in, they stay for a moment, and then we send them on their way. Trying to remember that all that matters right now, at this very moment, is the present. Letting go of thoughts of the past or thoughts of the future. None of those things matter right now. This is all that matters. Keeping ourselves in the present just helps us to stay grounded and focused. come back to the breath each time. And on your next inhale, just begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And if you're laying down, you can roll over onto your favorite side using your arm as a pillow. And we will just spend a moment here with gratitude. Showing yourself gratitude for doing something positive. And showing our breath gratitude. Being thankful that we have our breath. And if you're laying down, when you're ready, roll up to a seated position. And together, my friends, we'll gather up all the energy in the room as we inhale the arms up above us in prayer. Exhale, float them down to heart center. Thank you for being here, for spending your time, your energy, and your space with me and with each other. Namaste. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. If you want to do this practice again, I will upload it on the YouTube. If you want to donate, the information is there for you. And I'm very thankful for you. See you soon next week. Peace and love. Namaste.